School buses and parents dropping off high schoolers and passing Medford teachers who remain on strike. Students like Rebecca Marcum, ready for substitutes to teach them instead of their usual instructors.
I feel bad that teachers are here and they can't be our teachers. I'd rather have them in the classrooms than have substitutes. It's just kind of weird.
As Medford students went back to school, they crossed the picket lines of many of their former teachers here at South Medford High School.
Yeah. Look at who's here.
Some interactions, positive. Others, not so much.
I understand their feelings entirely. The best thing to do to get those negative feelings out of the air is to come to a settlement and get us back in the classroom.
We left lesson plans behind, but what the really quality education is standing out here on the sidewalk right now.
On the sidewalk, teachers waved to students inside their classrooms, getting instruction from a sub instead of a familiar face.
Good luck, you guys. Bye.
Covering your news in Medford, David De Rurange, News 10.
And today, district officials would not let cameras film inside Medford schools. Elementary students are seeing new faces and classmates at school as well. Teachers picketing outside as they watch their students get off the buses and head into classrooms with subs. Principal Sally Johnson of Howard Elementary says her students will see some familiar faces in the classroom.
Our kids are used to it. We have subs every day, so I don't think it's going to be any different. The good thing is they have people in the classroom that they know. The classified people, the aides, me, the custodians, the campus monitors, we're familiar faces. So if anything, they're going, I know you, and I think that'll make them feel safer and more confident in being here at school.
Johnson expects about 60% of the students from Howard and Oak Grove to attend today. She says as long as the strike continues, those missing students will have excused absences, saying the school won't penalize students for adult decisions. Medford and Central Point police stepping up patrols near the schools and the motels where the substitutes are staying. News 10's Jessica DeNova continues our total coverage with more on police willing to use overtime to make sure everyone's safe.
The Medford Police Department says, as with any other large gathering of people, the Medford Education Association strike requires increased patrol.
We certainly might add additional shifts, and those would be on an overtime basis.
According to Chief of Police Tim George, that overtime won't put the department over budget.
And we're going to be able to withstand this within the current budget. We're not looking for any kind of supplemental budget or anything because it's part of our budget that we plan. We're in a 2-year budget cycle.
Central Point Police Department says it's also not worried about the overtime it's paying its officers. According to Lieutenant Scott Logue, 1 to 4 officers patrol hotels where some substitutes are lodged.
It is an overtime, and there are financial concerns there, but nothing that we can't handle at this point.
Lieutenant Logue says his department planned ahead, making sure patrol increases at lodging locations during times guest teachers are transported.
Because we've prepared for it, the streets and the calls for service that we would ordinarily have, we have been able to respond to in a normal and timely manner and haven't been adversely impacted because of the strike activity.
Meanwhile, Medford Police Department not wanting to discuss the number of people assigned to strike patrol, but says more officers will be out in uniform in places they're not used to patrolling.
We'll put more people in uniform that aren't normally wearing a uniform. We'll augment certain things. We may move some folks as far as a geographic location.
Covering your news in Medford, Jessica DeNova, News 10.
Here's what we know at this point. The district is reporting estimates that schools are seeing 50 to 60% attendance today as kids begin their special strike schedule. The first session of classes is just about to wrap up. The superintendent says a number of substitutes did not show up this morning as expected. Phil Long says union members have been contacting subs urging them not to show. Both sides are expected to check in with the state mediator today, and the bargaining teams are expected to meet again tomorrow morning to work on a contract deal. You can find a list of bus schedules and school hours for your student on our website. Just go to KTVL.com and click on links from our broadcast.